Hi everybody, Citizen here. I'd like to say thanks to all the subscribers and viewers for watching Eddie Zheng's tutorial on tempura making. Eddie is a friend of mine, and unfortunately Eddie has closed his restaurant and he's in another line of business now, so it's going to be quite some time until he has time to make another sushi tutorial with me. I am Citizen, and I will be showing you today how to make pho, or Vietnamese noodles. Here in Cape Town, South Africa, there are no restaurants that serve or prepare it, so I had to learn how to make it myself. First thing I'm going to do is make the stock. I make it in quantity because it's good for freezing, and I use a 12-litre stock pot, but I will make a reduction in the quantities for people who want to make it at home and post it at the end of the video. So what I have here is 4.5 kilos of bones. It's about 10 pounds. Sorry guys, I do work in metric, so you're going to have to do conversions yourselves. You'll notice that these bones are, they're sort of they're clean bones. They're white and they've got a little bit of meat or so on them, but essentially they're clean bones. First thing I've got to do is you're going to want to put the bones into boiling water for about 5 minutes, and just it helps to get rid of all the impurities and whatever's left on them when you first get them. So while the bones are boiling, I'm just going to prepare the other ingredients for the stock, which I have 2 large onions and what I call a palm of ginger. We're going to just grill these on an open flame, and you char them on the outside. I believe it just helps to activate the flavors. It might also just be a handy way to get rid of the dry skin on the outside, without peeling it. So I'm just going to grab my gas cooker, crank up the flame, and then I'm just going to pop them straight on. You can smell the onion oils and so on coming through. Okay, so those guys are done. Now what you're going to want to do is you want to get all this blackening scraped off again. Otherwise it's going to turn your stock black. It won't affect the flavor much, but it doesn't look very appetizing. I just get the back of a knife and scrape off as much as I can. Anyway, you get the idea. I'll be back with you in a sec. Okay, so I've given those guys a scrape and I've just rinsed them under the tap. So I just get the onion and I slice it down just to the middle, to the core, but I leave it in one piece because it's easier to get rid of when you're done with it. The hand of ginger, I'll just go straight down the middle, just into 2 pieces, and I'll just put that stuff aside. Okay, next up is the spices. What we got for spices is stick cinnamon, star anise, black cardamom, cloves, coriander seeds, and fennel seeds. I'm going to use 3 sticks of cinnamon. These are kind of large. I got it from a new trader down the road, and they're very large, thick cinnamon, so I'm going to use 2 big ones and a little bit of a smaller one. 7 star anise. If they're broken, I just tend to average it out, so there's 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'll just throw, so that's 7 pieces there. Cardamom pods, they are like regular cardamom. Cardamom's green, a small green pod. I believe that what these are is basically the whole pod. I believe the green cardamom is inside this, but basically these are smoked over a fire, so they've got a really beefy, smoky flavor to them. I really like them, so I bang 4 of those in. Yeah, 1 for luck. I use a teaspoon of cloves. It's 1/4 cup of coriander. I just use my fist because I know how much 1/4 cup is. And then a fistful of fennel seeds. It is very, very important to toast these spices. Being dried spice, heating them up just activates the oils and releases them. You don't want to burn them. So I'm going to show you how I toast them. Okay, so I'm just going to get the gas cooker up again. Get that up to speed. I find whenever I'm toasting anything in a dry pan, always use a dry pan, never put any oil in, it'll make the seeds and so on stick, and when they stick they'll just burn. It makes it easier to shuffle it around in the pan. And the best thing for me when trying to just assess where they are in the heating process is use your sense of smell. It's the best thing you're going to have to work with. So I'll just keep shuffling them around a bit. When you start smelling the spices, you'll know they're getting close to where they need to be heat-wise. But another thing that I look for visually is that when I'm tossing them, when you first see any sign of smoke, it's not because they're burning, but it's just the oils are heating up. But I'll shuffle them around, and when I see that first little coil of smoke, then I'll take them right off. Okay, there's the first signs of smoke. It's just a little bit of smoke. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, that's enough to get them going. I don't know if you guys can see that smoke there. Okay, that's plenty. They're not burnt yet. They haven't gone black or brown. They're just starting to give off that smoke. Okay, I'm just going to put those aside and drain my bones. See, there's a lot of impurities on top of the water. I've dumped off the water, then I'm going to rinse them with cold water again. I'll take them out of the pot actually, and then I'll give the pot a clean because there's a lot of debris around the side of the pot, and then start fresh. Gives you the cleanest result with your stock. Okay, so we can start making the stock. Go in with the bones. Pop in our 2 onions, our hand of ginger, and our spices. Simmer it for about 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours. Some people do it overnight, but 4 hours is plenty of time to get a good broth. So bring this up to the boil now, but once it's reached the boil, turn it down to a simmer. If you boil it for the 4 hours, you're going to destroy a lot of the flavor. A lot of the oils that come out of the spices will get broken down by too much heat. The broth has come up to a boil now, and I've turned it down to a simmer, so I'm going to add the last of the seasoning. I've got 1/3 of a cup of coarse salt, and this is rock sugar, also 1/3 of a cup, and then I've got 1/3 of a cup of fish sauce as well. I just want to show you how slow the simmer is. A lot of Asian dishes have got very delicate flavors, so if you keep the temperature low, you're going to get a lot of flavor. Okay, so the stock's been simmering away for about 4 hours. It's almost ready to serve, so I'm just going to show you some of the basic preparations for serving. One of the things that will come in the bowl with the stock and the beef will be finely sliced brown onion. So what you want to do is take your onion, peel it, halve it, and then just slice as finely as you can bits of onion. Okay, so it's really, really fine. And you just want to take that and put it into a bowl of water and just let it soak in cold water for about 5-10 minutes, and it just takes the sharpness out of the onion. So when you get served this dish in Southeast Asia, it's going to come with some sides. You can dress them up as you want, but you traditionally will get rice paddy herb, Thai basil, and something called duck's tongue herb, which is like cilantro. It's related. So I've got some substitutes here, but they're all good substitutes for what you get in Southeast Asia. I've got coriander. The spring onions will go in when you're dishing up the bowl. I've got lemons instead of limes. The bean sprouts are traditional. The fish sauce is traditional, the hot sauce, and the chili. The last thing to do before we serve up is to prepare the noodles. So I'm using a taste of Thai, and it's pretty simple. Just want to take your noodles, get some boiling hot water, And then just drop the serving's worth of noodles into the water. And you can just put those aside for 25 minutes until they're ready. Okay, so I think those noodles are ready. Just drain them off. Here's how we set it up. In with your noodles. In with some of your bit of your onions. You want to get your strips of beef in there. Now these strips of beef need to be cut really thin because you're going to cook them with the boiling hot stock that we're going to put on now. You can put in some spring onion. Now you want to get your stock really hot, so it must be at a good boil when you put it onto the beef so that it cooks properly. You just ladle it on. You can see your beef cooking there. Right on, so that's the basic. And you want to throw in some of your bean sprouts, a bit of your coriander. Let's break it up and throw it in. You want to get in with some of your hot sauce, a bit of your chilies, a little bit of fish sauce, and your twisted lemon. Okay, here it goes. Man, that's really good. Okay, this one isn't for everybody, but everywhere you go they'll serve this dish slightly differently. And on one of my experiences, got served with an egg yolk. You just pop that in there, and just mix it up. Basically it'll just make it a heartier breakfast dish. Beef's really tender, absolutely delicious. There it is, Vietnamese noodles, pronounced pho. One of the best dishes you'll ever get. Okay guys, you've been in the kitchen with Citizen. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment and we'll see you next time.